Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Ghosts. I am your host, SunRay. This is the second part of Jamie's interview. Enjoy.
The fact that I can help him in that way, and I have done a couple other trips to the coma realm. It's very risky, so I don't offer it as a service or anything. I just had two people that I came across that I really felt for, and I wanted to help. So that was my way of helping. And the second time, unfortunately, it was too late for the man, but I went there and everything was like, it was like a nightmare. It was like everything was topsy-turvy, everything upside down. The guy was really confused. And his daughter had posted on a group about the fact that she's becoming a doctor soon, and she wants her dad's running out of time. They said that she was desperate for help. So I thought that I would help. He was in a coma. And I went there and I spoke to him, and I told him he was okay. I told him what had happened. I showed him who I am and that I was there to help. I gave him a message from his daughter, and I said to him, I said, you're going to be okay. I sent him some healing. And he was so calm and collected after. And I said, can you give me some sort of confirmation that I can go back to your daughter? Like, do you have a message for her? And he showed me these beautiful brown eyes, and he told me a message that was quite personal, so I'm not going to repeat it, but he did say to me that these amazing brown eyes he used to stare into, and it was just made him the happiest man ever. And so anyway, I came back to my body. Unfortunately, not long after that, he passed away. But he did it in peace. His soul was at peace,
That's
um, and I gave her the message, and it read, she was like, oh my God, and she was crying. She was like, those eyes that he showed you, there was my mum's. And he
oh,
said he used to just get lost in them, and it was so beautiful, so beautiful. So it was just that's my that's my experience of that. I'm just so grateful that I'm able to do that, like that I was able to help in that way, to serve. um it's just so incredible. So a lot of my gifts came to me as knowings. Like with the astral traveling, I didn't know how to astral travel. No one told me, oh, you do this, this, and this. My soul knows. And what I would advise for anyone going through a spiritual journey, or anyone at any point in their life, your soul knows. You may not remember your power, your past lives and stuff, your gifts, but connect with your soul. All the answers are inside of you, all of them, you know? And I listened to my soul, and I let my soul guide me in my awakening. And it led me to the most amazingly beautiful places. And when you have experiences, spiritual experiences, like to anyone that watches this and is going through stuff, and they've witnessed things and they're like, oh my God, no, it's not real, it's my imagination. It's not your imagination. It isn't. you know
yes.
Listen and trust in your heart, in your soul, and it will guide you through anything. You've got, not everyone has the ability to connect with their spirit guides straight off the bat until they've learned or whatever, but connect. All the answers are in your heart and
Yes.
your soul. That's the most amazing guide ever, is within you you know So at any point when it feels confusing and you feel lost and you think, oh, I'm going mad, listen to your soul. All the answers are embedded within you, you know? And when we're born into this life, we do have amnesia. That's the way I look. That's what I call it. We have reincarnation amnesia, and we can't remember. And it is frustrating sometimes, but what I learned is that everything is within me, you know? And another thing that I learned, um, is that, I mean, back before my awakening, like I said, I was lost within myself. Like, I always looked for someone to complete me. I felt really upset the fact that I hadn't found love for years, a single mom, and I used to look on dating sites and everything like that, but the first thing that I did was come off dating sites when I started on my awakening. Straight after that reading I did, when it resonated, I stopped looking, right? I stopped looking externally, and I found what I was looking for all my life. I found it within me, everything. I learned that I complete myself already. I learned how to complete myself already, and that I always had. And that love that I was looking for and felt so depressed because I didn't have it, it was inside me all along. And
Mm-hmm.
all the times that I didn't feel loved, all the times that I felt lost, I had that love within me, and we all do. We
Yes.
all are love. We all have the most amazing unconditional love within us. We are love. And the, you know, the dark souls out there, the dark side of spirituality, you know, the I do everything out of the light. But what I'm saying is, like, the souls that are dark, they've simply lost their way. You know, it's like some people, some bad, well, bad people, you know, some of that have been done horrible things or whatever, like, a lot of them didn't have enough love in their life. They lost their way, right? Love
Yes.
is our guiding compass. Love is who we are. And you know what? In my journey, I've come face to face with a lot of spirits that aren't of the light. But it's like looking at them within the eyes of love, it has the power to transform them completely. You know, like sending them unconditional love. I've watched even the darkest souls transform and find themselves, right? And love is the most healing essence ever. Love can heal everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all these different puzzle pieces that we're looking for outside of us. We have it all within us, all of
Yes.
it. And learning to complete myself, and learning that I am this force of love, learning to heal myself, learning that I'm not my pain, I'm not my limitations. It changed my life. And I evolved into the person that I am today. And now I can help so many people in such amazing ways, such amazing ways. Like, I've got a lot of natural healing gifts. Like, yes, I've learned different modalities, but I have a lot of natural healing abilities. I'm so intuitive when I do my healings. I can see their organs and see inside their body and everything. And it just it just comes so natural to me, and I'm able to make such a difference in just one session. It's really incredible, and I love walking this path. You know, I love walking and being this person that I am today. I'm so grateful for my past. I'm so grateful for all of my struggles, because I would not be me. I would not be the person right now. So even for the pain, even the times where I felt like I was stuck in the darkness and that it would never end. Like, I used to always put good karma out into the world, and I used to say to myself, why do I get all this hardship in return? Like, my life fell apart multiple times, and it broke me down. And especially going through domestic violence, that broke me down. I didn't even feel like I was a person worthy of anything, and I hated myself. And I went from hating myself to loving myself unconditionally. And I'm still doing the work now. Like, the work never really ends, that we're still always evolving. But I have healed myself of so much. And I found all this within me. And it's so beautiful that even in those times where I didn't know myself, it was there. It was within me. And I saved myself. When you do, like, when I doing shadow work, doing work on yourself, embracing your shadow aspects, the parts of you that you lock and shut away, reaching into the depths of your soul and pulling out those things that you've discarded, and really loving them and transforming them. Like, it's such a beautiful thing in healing yourself, and we can all do it. We can all do it. It's possible. Everyone is limitless. We are limitless, you know? We're capable of so much.
And that feeling of unconditional love, it's a feeling that's undescribable, really. When I'm doing my healings and I'm pushing off that love and I'm feeling that love back, it's just my whole body from head to toe feels it, and I'm so connected. And it's there's really no words to explain how amazing it feels to feel that and finally have self-love. And you're very right. I mean, we all still have bad days and bad moments where, those negative thoughts, get to us for a moment, but it's the courage and the strength that we have to pull ourselves out of it and remind ourselves of who we are. And it's okay. It's completely okay to feel those things. So, for anybody out there who
Absolutely.
does struggle and have those days, it's okay to have those days. We all still have them.
Yeah, it's okay not to be okay,
Yeah.
you know? And when, in fact, when we don't feel okay and we try and push it deep down and just like try and ignore what's coming up, when we reject how we're feeling, when we reject that and bottle it down and force it down, you know, that's really not good for you, like that can manifest in so many different ways. It can lead to so many health conditions,
Yeah.
it can block you in so many areas of your life, can't it? By being with yourself, accepting yourself and allowing yourself to cry, to feel angry, whatever you feel, and not rejecting those feelings, and being gentle with yourself as if you would with a friend. Like if a friend came to you, was really, really sad, you wouldn't be like, oh, get a grip. Like you'd be there for them. You wouldn't
Yes.
say, oh, push it down. You're fine. Well, some people would, but that wouldn't be a good friend, would it?
No.
You would, a good friend would be with them and just like, okay, you're gonna be okay, and comfort them and be there for them and hold space for them.
And help
So
heal them from those emotions and
absolutely,
experiences.
absolutely. So why not do that to ourselves? So
Mhm.
looking at yourself as if you're your best friend and being there for yourself in that way, allowing yourself to just feel and just hold space for yourself in your heart and cry and let it out. That is how healing is done, right?
Yes.
And being with your emotions, like, and I put up a post recently on my Facebook about how crying is the most amazing thing. Like that's bravery,
Hmm.
being brave and bold, allowing yourself, being brave enough to feel, being brave enough to cry and release. When you're crying, it releases all that energy, doesn't it? It's your body's way of releasing, you know?
And the
So
deeper
being
the
brave.
emotion, the more you can feel it coming out, from the inside of your chest. And every cry, you can literally feel that
Mm,
energy leaving your body.
yeah. And setting the intention, I feel to say to some people that are going to watch us or are watching, um, so because some people don't know like they have cries and stuff, but then they're not releasing. Like most of the time you are releasing, but it's like if when you set intentions though for what you're crying and what you're feeling to leave you as you cry, you know, that that really, really helps release it. And also some other tips I would give people is feeling, taking a moment. You don't have to be a pro at meditation, you don't even have to know how to meditate, but taking a moment and closing your eyes and feeling the emotions that you're feeling, and not identifying with them but feeling, and then taking a deep breaths. And as you inhale, like just imagine that you're breathing in white light, and as you exhale, just imagine that you're blowing all of these emotions, all of it out, and it's all going back to the universe,
Yep.
back to unconditional love, back to God, whatever you believe, whatever's in your belief system for that. Just imagine that you can do that with any sort of energy, any stress, anxiety, everything. Like that has helped me so much. Just be like, okay, I don't need this, because we can choose whether we hold on to this or not, or whether we choose to release it. We have that choice. We have that power, you know?
Mhm.
So that's just something that I felt to say about different tips on how to do that, because when I first started out, I didn't know how to. I didn't know all this stuff. It's stuff that either my guides or I connect with nature. So I'm really taught a lot from tree souls when I connect with my heart space and telepathically. I've had some amazing tree spirits take me on journeys and teach me different things. And so it's a lot of different things I've learned along the way. And also, obviously, I've learned from other people's experiences and stuff. So sharing these things with people that are going through it themselves, that don't know how to deal with this. I just think it is such a beautiful thing being that other end and reaching. It's like, in a way, by helping others in that way, it's like reaching back and helping yourself, right? Because
Yeah.
we are all a reflection of each other.
Mhm.
And having gone through it and knowing what it's like, it can be so confusing, can't it?
Yes.
So
Again.
confusing, you
Thank
know?
you. Thank you so much for sharing that advice. A lot of us don't know how to even ground ourselves, and the white light really helps do that too.
Yeah.
Helps protect our energy from, the negative, and protect us from the sadness and stuff. So thank you very much for sharing that tip with everybody.
You're welcome. I've got another thing that I feel, because I've got my guides in, like I've got my guides here as well. Like, I always bring them in when I do things like that. So my guides are like, tell them about, so can I share another tip that I found that's really good for shifting energy? My guides are just like, it's not my life, I know, but my guides are like, tell them, tell them. I'm like, okay. But
Yes.
but yeah, another thing that has helped me so much, like, I know I've got a really deep, profound connection with nature, but anyone can do this, right? So if you go up to a tree that you feel drawn to, that just feels right, you don't have to. Feeling drawn, for those that don't know, feeling drawn to something is just like something that feels like it's sort of, it feels, you just know it's the right energy, the right tree, the right thing, right? So going to a tree that you feel drawn to, and if you stand barefoot on the grass, that's extra helpful, but you don't have to. And you place your palms of your hands on the tree, and you do what I said about feeling those emotions that you want to shift. It can be stress, worry, anxiety, anything, sadness. And you imagine that you're moving the energy up, down your hands, and out into the tree. Now, when I first was told this, I thought, oh, that poor tree, I don't want to put all these emotions into the tree. Do you know what I mean? But they are amazing transmuters. They don't just transmute the oxygen and stuff. By doing that, like, I've connected with trees, and they've told me that it's actually like giving them healing in a way. So you
Mhm.
move that energy into the tree, and you keep doing it, and you follow your breathing, and as you breathe out, you're moving that energy, and you ask for grounding, healing energy to be sent to you in return. So after you've emptied those emotions or feelings out into the tree and you feel empty, you ask the tree to send you grounding energy. You don't have to be able to connect telepathically with trees. It's just something that just happens. Do you know what I mean? And if you're drawn to that tree, that tree is okay with doing that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just they just know. They just know. And that has got me through so much, so
Mhm.
much, because trees are the most amazing beings. Their soul, their wisdom,
Mhm.
like, they're the most amazing things. And it not only grounds you doing this, but it it helps you shift that. Like, I've been really sad and gone out around nature, and I've connected with trees, and they're like, give it all to me. This is how I found it, actually. I think the tree actually told me, like, give it all. And I was like, I don't want to do that, because they're very much alive. Like, to some people, it may seem crazy me talking about trees in this way, but there's so much more to them. Everything has a soul. The grass, the flowers, everything, there's a soul inside,
Mhm.
you know. And we are meant to be connected with all of that. And there was a time in history that that it was the norm. We wasn't meant to live separate from nature.
Mhm.
We was meant to live at one with nature, right?
Mhm.
Because we are all one in the same. We are all love. We are all creation, right?
Yes.
And like I can't believe that I spent most of my life looking at trees and thinking, oh yeah, it's just a tree. There's so much more. Like there's so much more to everything, nature and everything, and it's so powerful and healing, and we've got so much wisdom and healing at our fingertips, right?
Yes.
We really do. And that technique has helped me so many times. Like there's such amazing energy transmuters. They take all of that energy that you don't want to carry, and they just replace it with amazing grounding, beautiful energy. So that's something else I felt to sort of share.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That it reminds me of a little bit of how I ground myself. You know, I've been taught and told that our animals, especially cats, are they just take our negative energy and they don't hold on to it. They just disperse it back into the universe. And
Yeah.
you know, when I need to be grounded and I feel my energy outside of my body, I have two cats and a dog, so sometimes I'll just go up to my animals and I'll hold them and I'll pet them, and I can actually feel my negative energy being drawn out of me and being
Mm,
replaced with calmness, and I can start to calm down and relax and feel like I'm in my body again. So I mean, that reminds me exactly of what you were saying. And a lot of visualization helps a lot with
mm,
doing that and grounding yourself too. Is, you know, visualizing roots growing from your feet and the energy leaving your bodies. That's always been
mm.
key for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mhm.
because what we imagine, it's not just that visualize, like some people call it imagine or visualize, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's one in the same.
Mhm.
We are in fact creating.
Yes.
So what, because we are creators of our whole reality, our inner reality and our outer.
Mhm.
So in imagining, you're actually creating that for yourself. It's so incredible. And people, so many people don't realize that, do they?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, what you were saying about cats, I'd love to share my cats. I've got two cats. Um, they're both really special, but one of them is an amazing healer. He is incredible. His name is Oreo, and he was born with he's got a heart all across here and down. It's one big heart. He's got a heart around his mouth as well. And I just knew that he was special from the very start, right?
Uh-huh.
And he, when I'm feeling really low, he could be upstairs completely away from me. He just knows. He knows when I need him. And he'll come and he'll, you know, that little padding thing that cats do, but
Mhm.
it's more than that. He will literally just come and do that for ages and ages all over me, but really, really deeply. And his purr is so deep, and he do that for ages, like he's massaging me. It's actually really funny to look at. But what I realized is that what I eventually realized is that when he's doing that, because at first I was thinking, what are you just messing around, like the feeling of my belly or whatever, because it was really funny. But what I realized is that when he's doing that, he's healing me. He's healing me so much because I could feel all of that energy going into him.
Mhm.
He is like amazing. He'll do that for ages. Not just he won't sit down after. You know, some cats, they get on you, they pad and then they sit down just to get comfortable.
Mhm.
This is completely different from that. He'll do that, do his thing, hop away, and go back to about his business. And
Wow.
it's yeah, it's so incredible, and it leaves me feeling so healed and so rejuvenated. He takes all of that from me, you know, and it's just so incredible. And I felt a bit bad for a while because there was a time where it's like the energy got stuck within him and he couldn't shift it,
Mhm.
and it affected him, and I wanted to do healing on him, but he wasn't having none of it. The second I would start to send energy, he'd be so insulted and storm off, right? It's so funny, he's such a character. But he would be so insulted, and I'd connect with his higher self, and his higher self is like, no, no. And it was really frustrating for me, because for about a week or 2 weeks, I've I felt really bad, because he was like really struggling with it, like he was a different cat, like he would stop biting me, and when I walked past, like, not in a really horrible way, but I really wanted to help him, but he was so adamant that no, he would not accept it. Eventually he was okay, he cleared it himself and everything, and now he's not had a problem. But it's like, I felt a bit bad about that, but it's what cats do. They're such spiritual animals.
They
They're
are.
such amazing protectors as well. Like, my cats follow me everywhere in my home, and they've got very different roles.
Yes.
Very different roles. My other cat is more of a nurturer. Like, she will come up and she'll just lick you like crazy, just snuggle into you and give that comfort. And she goes up and sleeps with my kids. She watches over them when they sleep. As soon as I go to sleep, she comes down. She's by my side all night, you know. And then my other cat, he's an amazing healer. You know, animals are so incredible. It's not just cats. A lot of dogs are protectors and healers as well in their own way. And connecting with like birds, they've all got their natural medicine. And when I say that, it's not medicine obviously as if, you know, the traditional sense medicine like tablets or whatever, but energy medicine. They've got their own medicine that they give, right?
Yes.
And sometimes when they come to you, sometimes it's like, I know you know this, but for people that are watching, um when you have like birds come to you, they do mean certain things, but also sometimes it's your loved ones that you've lost. It's their way of, they'll use the bird as the vessel to come to you and let you know that they're there in a way. But also some of the time the birds, because we are all connected, and they can sense stuff. They don't have to be told or anything, they just know. And sometimes when they approach you and follow you around and stuff, they're in fact sending you energy. So you have different, it's not just the birds, different animals come into your life for that. Like, I have bees follow me sometimes, and you know, like, it's just really amazing. And just being around them, when they approach you like that, there's always a reason. So I would suggest to tap into your heart center and just connect, and your heart knows, and listen to what your heart's telling you, and your heart will tell you. Like, I have crows follow me around so much, and they are really misunderstood. Crows are, they're not all dark, like all this stuff about, oh, crows are all dark and they mean death and everything like that. Everything that I do, I stand in the light, and anyone that knows me, they can just feel it from my energy, you know. But crows, I have such an amazing connection with crows, and they come to me quite often, and everywhere I go, I'll see them nearby, and they'll be lurking around nearby. And sometimes I can actually feel them sending me this healing, like they're bringing this healing. Or they'll leave a feather. I'd ask them to leave a feather, and I'd find one in my path. Do you know what I mean? And it's like the energy from that is so healing. There's just so much about nature which is just so incredible, and we are all a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And to some people just know that when they're out around nature walking, they feel good. It's not just the fresh air, they're getting healing from the trees and everything. It's
Yes.
so good for your soul, right?
There
Because
is so much energy in nature, so much energy, and you just sit there and
yeah,
soak it up, and you can feel your entire insides change and shift.
absolutely. And it's like returning home.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
is. It is. It's where I feel the most at home and the most connected to not only everything but to God as well. That's like my church, right? Because it's like that divinity that I feel the most in touch. Like, I'm so free. And when I do the when I don't like to call it manipulating the wind. I only use those words so that people can understand what I mean. But it's really a flow. It's not about control. It's about connecting with your heart, standing in the space of love, and connecting with those elements within you and feeling it. And it's a flow. I call it flowing with nature, flowing with the wind. Because if you try and do it out of a space of control, that blocks you, right? It's all about love and flowing and connecting. So it's like I've got quite a few elemental abilities that just found me. Like I've said about my connection with earth and the winds, but I also have a connection with fire as well. I'm able to manipulate fire as well. I had the most amazing, that was quite recent. I discovered my connection with fire, and I could flow with it and make it move how I want to, form spirals and move the smoke or move the flame and stuff like that. And not only that, it just came to me one day. I knew that when I got around fire, I would just know what to do, and it's like my soul takes over, you know. And not only did I just intuitively know how to do it, I taught 4 other people, including a 11-year-old boy. I said to them, I said, look, it doesn't make me any different from you. It doesn't make me any better from anyone else, because we all have this within us. And I sat there and I told him how to do it. In the first try, bang. In fact, the 11-year-old, he was even better than me. Like, he was amazing. And this is what I mean. We all have this power within us. It's so incredible. And all it is believing and being in that space of love, you know, and being free and letting everything else go. And I feel the most amazing freeness when I'm around nature, you know, and also when I'm around the trees, because I'm a very shamanic soul, and I'm able to walk between realms. So it's not just astral traveling. I could be in the woods and shift my frequency so that I would see the trees and stuff as if I was on psychedelics, not psychedelics, but you know, certain plant medicine, when you take it, you can visually see into other realms, right?
Yeah.
So what I do, I don't need any of that. I am able to shift my frequency and see different realms. So being in this realm and walking in the woods, but also walking between the veil, between the nature realm and this realm. And it's so incredible. It's so incredible being able to do that.
That's absolutely beautiful. So I would love to talk to you for hours. I feel like me and you could talk for hours and hours
Yeah.
together. We'll have to get together for another episode in the future and talk
That
some
would be
more.
lovely. I've
For
just
the
got so much to share.
yeah, for the viewers, do you want to tell them how they can find you?
Okay, so you can go to my website. I will put a link in the comments when I'm done. It's www.phoenixawakenings.com. I've also got a Facebook page that you can check out. Anyone's welcome to personal message me, whether on my business page or my Facebook page. I do a lot of inspirational lives or messages and stuff to follow in that. So, but I'll post the details on the comments, and I offer a lot of different things. So it'd be amazing if people can check me out. That'd be great. I'd love to. I get such joy out of helping, you know. It's
Yeah,
just so amazing.
it
But
is
yeah,
an
thank
amazing
you.
feeling.
It is. It is.
Well,
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
absolutely, and thank you so much. I enjoyed this, and again, I could talk to you forever. So until next time.
Okay, my love. Yeah, I'd love to do it again.
All right, thank
You
you.
take care.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in with me today and listening to Jamie's story. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments or shoot me a message. Jamie is going to post how to reach her in the comments as well, so you'll be able to reach out to her if you have any questions that I'm unable to help. I really hope this helps some of you, validate some things for you. And if you have a story you would like to share or an experience or things that you're going through, shoot me a message and we'll get together and talk about how we can get those out for people. One thing I want you all to know is that you're not alone in your struggles and your past and things that you may see and hear and feel. you're not alone in that. You know, a lot of us experience it and we're all in it together. So don't ever be afraid to reach out. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. Bye.